But right out there in those streets where Shorty is.
How you doing, Shorty?
Hey, Turk.
I just saw your mother inside the restaurant.
Yeah, I just saw my way down and lay some bread on it.
Shorty, the word is on Vine that you're not making your payoff to the cops.
That's the rumor, Turk.
You mind if I give you a little advice?
No, go ahead.
Why don't you just quit dealing altogether?
Oh, man, you know I can't do that, Turk. It's a pilot.
You ever stop to think what would happen in these streets if we cut off the flow of drugs altogether? White folks control your neighborhood through drugs and you dealing.
So what you gonna do now? Give me a sermon?
No sermon, Shorty. I just thought I'd ask. You mind if I give you a little advice?
No, go ahead.
Why don't you just quit dealing altogether?
Oh, man, you know I can't do that, Turk. It's a pilot.
You ever stop to think what would happen in these streets if we cut off the flow of drugs altogether? White folks control
My
your
man.
neighborhood through drugs
My man.
and you dealing.
So what you gonna do now? Give me a sermon?
No sermon, Shorty. I just...
Now, the frustration I feel, because that is a model of a lot of conversations. People shut down good information because they say, oh, what, you about to preach me a sermon now? You know everything? No. But the key piece that you have to remember, that we have to remember as a people, that we do very little if we don't get a sermon. We can take it all the way back to Haiti. The whole Haitian Revolution jumped off from a religious ritual. I'm quite sure somebody gave a sermon. Gable Prosser. Quite sure somebody was giving sermons. Right? Nat Turner was a pastor. We know he was giving sermons. Let's bring it all the way up to the Civil Rights Movement. Full of people that gave sermons. As a matter of fact, Martin Luther King was one of those pastors that gave a sermon that moved the masses, right? We go to the Nation of Islam, full of ministers. One of the famous being Malcolm X, who gave a lot of sermons. Bring it up to today, where we are today, right? Think about it. Farrakhan gives some nice sermons. So it's kind of like we shut each other down with this whole sermon idea, and Shorty with his dumb ass. Oh my God, Shorty make me mad. But I did like his pantsuit. I'm thinking about bringing the pantsuit back with the long collar. You see that? I think I might bring that back. I think that's the only thing I can find that I like about that. All right, family. So right here, we got one of my favorite movies of all time. And I'm going to explain eventually on one of these videos why this is my favorite movie of all time. It's called The Spook Who Sat by the Door. And it's very, very, very important that we go through some of the lessons in here, because they are lessons that we constantly deal with today in this world. I mean, a lot of shit has changed. It only changed in look, but many of the rules of life still apply. And if you listen to the sermon that Shorty, bless his heart.
I don't think he got no more than about a $20 or $30 a week habit. And that ain't no habit.
Shut up, Mama Duncan. I can hear a ringing in my ear. Right? But anyway, this is what we're going to do. I want us to break it down, because basically what Turk or Mr. Freeman was talking about in there was controlling territory. And we often talk about that on Gye-Nyame Journey. You can't have a family. You can't have a tribe. You can't have a community. You can't have a city unless you have marked out territory. All things have to have territory. And what Turk was talking about in that scene was establishing a territory and controlling what comes in and what goes out of that community, right? We have to face the fact, family, that a lot of us are playing revolutionary. A lot of us are playing nation builder. A lot of us are doing these grandiose things, or think we're doing these grandiose things, when in fact we are doing nothing but walking around the plantation, including myself. The goal is to break off the plantation. How do you break off the plantation? You break off the plantation by taking control of the plantation, making it yours, staking your claims, and making sure you control everything that comes in. Now, the first place we start with that as a people is our minds. Right now, our minds are open. So anybody could come in with a crazy idea, stake their flag in there, and everything is cool. Right? And everybody do as thou wilt. Do what you want to do, blah, blah, blah. But how do you organize with that type of shit? How do you really take over a community with that? Because one of the things that you have to understand, that when you go into different communities, we hear people like, well, we hear about all these other groups. These other groups share culture, and they share ideas about that culture. But in our community, what happens is we got so many different ideas about who we are, about where we are, about when we are, that we can't align those ideas so that we can empower ourselves to overcome and push out those that are not serving our interests. Family, there is no way that we could take control of our community doing and allowing anything in. That includes thoughts, that includes drugs, that includes the education, that includes, we have to be able to control all of that coming into us. We got to be able to control all of that going into our children. We got to control all of that. And that's true nation building. You don't build up a nation so that other people could come in and take advantage of it. You don't build up a nation so other people could come in and take from you. Right? So Turk said, have you ever realized that if we cut off the flow of drugs, what would happen? Do you not understand that white folks control your community through drugs, and they control you through the dealing of drugs? Right? Now, I want you to understand that often, if you look at the movies and you look at the history, traders were often funded by other people's money. When other people's money becomes more important than your culture, you will always lose. When you have individuals that are able to be financed by outside sources to act as mercenaries for them, they don't even have to give the mercenaries directions. Here, cause as much, basically, they didn't even say cause as much confusion as you can. But when you unleash people who are outside of the community onto the community, they're not with you mentally, they're not with you educationally, they're not with you spiritually, they don't see the same political things you see, they don't see the same economic state that you see, it causes havoc in the community. It causes havoc in the area. It causes havoc in the neighborhood. And it descends from community to neighborhood to just the hood. Many of us, because we have not started training our minds, because we are not living by principles, have given in and started living a mercenary life. And mercenaries never build empires for themselves. They build empires for others. They never build countries for themselves. They build countries for others. And when the mercenaries become a problem to the state that they have helped build, guess what that state does to them? Look it up in history. And even worse, for us, a lot of us with the mercenary mind state. I'll do anything for money. If you got somebody in your crew right now that say they will do anything for money, you need to go on and eliminate them out your crew. But hey, I'm on some tribe building shit right now. Listen to me, family. If you want to learn how to build a tribe, I am going to invite you to take our e-course. Go to freegnjecourse.com. Feel free to hit up the video with comments so that we could go and have this discussion. right? So that we could really start building, at least those that want to build. Because we got some people that's really benefiting off the confusion that's going on in our community right now. Whole lot of people. As a matter of fact, we'll lose a lot of jobs. You know what I'm saying? But hey, give unto Caesar what is Caesar's, right? So family, thank you for joining us. I am your host, Brother Hatim. And this has been another one of those adventures of Brother Hatim. And this one is called Territory. What is your territory? Where is your territory? Where does it start? Ask yourself some of these questions. Yo, that's just a thought. Peace. Watch the next video. Watch the next video. Watch the next video. No, I'm just joking, family. Family, thank you for joining us. Be sure to catch us on the next video, family. Peace. Watch the next video. Watch.